In this video, I'm going to be breaking down a $25,000 paid in full close. Now, this prospect came in off the back of a cold advertisement. No appointment setting, no pre-call notes. And what this call demonstrates is that when you really focus on developing elite level sales skills, you have the control and power to enable that individual to come to a big decision that is going to positively change their life. Now, one thing you've probably noticed in this space is we have people who are touting big numbers. I made X amount in commission this month. I've made X amount in sales revenue for the year. However, they don't actually give you a proper look behind the scenes into calls that they've taken. Surprise, surprise. Whereas myself, I'm going to dissect the call line by line, go through how I'm operating, why I'm asking certain questions, so that you can see exactly how to do this yourself. If you are interested in getting more personal coaching from myself, then head to the description. You can reach out directly via Instagram or head straight to that booking link to book yourself in a call. So let's get into the video. I will be pausing the call periodically to make comments and explain why I'm asking certain questions, why I'm acting or responding a certain way, and everything that I have done, which then eventually led to this call. One call closing, $25,000 paid in full off the back of a cold advertisement. Let's get into it.
Good morning. Well, morning for me.
Morning, Jenith. How are we doing?
Good. Hang on. So much light in the background.
What time's it there for you?
What time? It's 9 o'clock.
Oh, nice.
What about you?
It's 4 o'clock. I'm based in the UK at the moment.
In the afternoon?
Yeah, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The morning, that'd be an early start.
I know. It's like, I think I got a text from you like early this morning. I'm sure
Yeah,
it's
that
fine.
must have been very early for you when I probably sent that through.
Yeah. I
Awesome.
did looked at the Google document you sent. That's very helpful. And I did watch some videos.
Nice.
So I have an idea what this is about and the business. And,
So obviously, because these leads are coming off the back of a cold ad, we need to have a pre-call process in place. You can't have them coming on and having not a single clue what it is we even do or what this is even about, because then you're going to have to over-explain and elaborate first off, and you can get caught up in logistics at that point. So I would have sent her over a brief video to watch over, some notes and some links to check out the website and vice versa.
I like it.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out if I can make it work because I've been learning so much this past few months with different businesses, right? Because I have a 9-to-5 job.
Okay.
But I've always been an entrepreneur in my mind. I've tried so many things, but spent a lot of money actually.
Okay.
It's just that I think the coaching is probably going to be a big help because guiding you, right? Because I bought a lot of these courses, but if you don't take the action, it doesn't help you, right?
Okay.
And that's what I've done. Like,
what have you explored or gone into in terms of buying courses for?
So we can already pick up on the fact that she's quite a scattered individual. She's very friendly. She's forthcoming. So she's being very plain and explaining her situation, which is great. However, one of the issues that we need to now address, which has already been brought into the light, is the fact that she has been lacking a very clear sense of direction. And I suppose that chaos could be giving her a sense of anxiety or nervousness to perhaps move forward again with something like this. So I've immediately gone in to get some clarity on what she's done before so that we can then draw comparisons and really paint a very clear picture, get context.
so real estate, there's assisted living facility, there's big one is real estate. AI actually, there's a AR arbitrage as well. It's like Richard Yu, but you guys is more comprehensive. There's more clarity on what you're actually like selling. It's more consulting, which I get it. IUL, I don't know if you've heard of it. It's life insurance, Index Universal Life. So I'm actually licensed. So how I got into this because they're like, okay, how do I lead generate, because that's the very first thing. Like, okay, I'm gonna get serious with this. I'm gonna be, writing policies. So that's kind of how I like found so many of this on Facebook. Sometimes like, oh, all these ads, so I listen to it, or content creator. I've listened to so many things. I'm like, okay, Eugentic AI, I don't know if you've heard of them. It's essentially creating your own clone, so it does stuff for you.
Okay.
So yeah, so AI, cloning yourself, IUL, and then you guys, content creator, how to create your own content and sell online and scale from
Yeah.
there. Webinars, there's just so
Wow.
many things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm just like, okay, I need to just
You see what I mean about being scatterbrained?
focus on one thing.
You said,
Yeah.
obviously, you've kind of dipped your toe in a few things, and we've gone for some things. But you said, like, if you don't take the action and apply yourself, then you're not going to get like the desired outcome, right? What do you think has held you back then from having that focus and just wholeheartedly committing to one of those avenues?
Yeah.
So as you can see, we immediately dive onto the issue. We're not here to follow a word by word, line by line framework like a robot. We are here to have a genuine, empathetic conversation in the most efficient way possible for both parties. So I know for a fact that it's in her best interest if we address the root cause of this issue from the get-go. We're 4 minutes in.
Yes, overwhelm and just lots of information like me. Oh, let's listen to this. I want to learn more about that. And then I don't take action because I'm just overwhelmed. There's so many ideas in my head. Which one? You know, ultimately, I just want to have a business that makes me money so I can quit my job. So
Okay.
that's the ultimate thing. And then just going through this consulting, it's great. It's really great. I mean, if I can just even have a few businesses that I can help, it's great. It's just that, I've invested also with the IUL. I'm actually
How much money would you say total you've probably invested into all of these things over time?
oh my gosh, over the years, over a decade, over 100K.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Notice the lack of reaction. All of this is purposeful. All of this serves a purpose. I am speaking in a very calm tone of voice. Some would say monotone, but as you can see from the opener of the call, I still build rapport. I change my tonality up where necessary. However, this is a call where I am positioned as a consultant, and that is what you are acting as on any of your sales calls. And you need to operate in that manner, almost as if when you're speaking to a doctor, if you're to tell them the symptoms or an issue, they're not going to have an overt reaction. They're going to go, okay, note it down, and then continue through the process.
would you say that you haven't achieved the return on investment you've been looking
No.
for? No.
No.
With any of them, really, would you say that you put the money into?
No. The only thing that I actually made money on is the IUL because I'm licensed. So I've written some policies and I got commissions on those. And then those are all just warm leads, my friends. I did presentation to my friends, and that's it. I didn't really use social media to market myself. And so then that's when I started looking, I can't do this one-on-one because it takes so much time. So my presentations are like 45 minutes to an hour per family.
Yeah.
And I only do that after work at night because I have a day job. I only do that at night. And so all my nights are gone. And
Wow.
I'm still a full-time mom. I have 3 kids. I cook every night, clean, do laundry, all this stuff. And so then I started looking, okay, I need a way to generate leads. And not only that, like, how can I streamline my time? I know webinars are great because you record it and then you can automate it and people watch it and then you
Yeah.
educate them. You educate them instead of doing it manually one-on-one. And so that's where I started looking for
So
tools, AI.
the day job, what is it that you do day to day?
So my degree's in accounting. So right now I'm a admin and accounting manager for a division for our local government. So yeah, so it's a local government and I oversee HR.
Every now and then, bear in mind this is in 1.25x speed just for time efficiency, and I'm going to 1.5 at times. You'll notice my eyes darting down very occasionally. I always have a notebook with me, just down here to the right. What you should be noting down is just key pointers and key pieces of information. So specific key buzzwords, when they say them, such as fear, scared, uncomfortable, because then we can delve into those words a little bit deeper with contextual questions or key points of information. So, for example, just job title as an example, so that I begin to build up a very clear portfolio on the page below me that I can then utilize throughout the call.
Accounting, accounts payable, accounts receivable, and supervise people. So
You
that's
said
kind of my background.
you've been looking to get out of the day job. What's like the problem with it?
Yeah, well, I love my job, and
Immediately pulling straight onto there, because she said her main goal was to get out of the 9 to 5 by starting this business. So let's figure out what's behind that.
actually I made it to the tier 1 pension benefit. So I actually have a pension. I'm into it 15 years. I need 15 more years. The thing that, you know, even though my job is easy now, it's easy now. Before it was really hard. I have systems in place. I've hired the team instead of inheriting the people, from a different manager. I'm actually on an easy mode now. It's just that I still have a 9 to 5 job, like you're still tied to it.
Tied,
My
like in what sense do you mean?
In what sense? Like,
Now, this is what we call builder questions. So the moment, as I said, someone gives you a key pain point or a problem or a buzzword, we delve into that with a builder question. So in what way? In what sense? How long has that been going on for? This then enables them to dig deeper into the context behind the problem, and it's going to build the pain. It's going to build the gap, which is going to gradually reaffirm to them that a change needs to happen.
oh, I still have to work,
Right.
I have to do this, 9 to 5. And I mean, there's stress that comes with, supervising people. For now, I'm okay. But once I start, uh, issues with employees, that's when I get stressed out. It's really difficult handling, managing people not performing or issues with their performance. That's kind
Yeah.
of
A
stressful,
lot of
which
people, like a lot of people obviously kind of stick down the 9 to 5 path, I find.
Mhm.
Like what particularly about it makes you not feel like fulfilled that you have to kind of show up and go through those motions?
Reason behind this, she said the main issue was it's still a 9 to 5. But that's just a statement. I needed the context behind what she meant there. Hence why I asked this question, because that in and of itself isn't necessarily a problem. So what is?
Given the fact it's not, as you said, you enjoy the
It's not.
job, it's not too
Mhm.
bad. Like sort of where does that come from in you to say, I suppose that you're made for more almost?
So what's the problem with it? Why I'm trying to get away from it?
Yeah.
I think it's just the time freedom, really.
Mm.
Like there's still certain things like, even though my boss is pretty lenient with me, if I need to take my kids to their appointments, their doctor, whatever, I can
Now we've got the real problem.
in and out. I'm just lucky that way. But still, you think about, oh, I'm gonna have to tell my boss, I still have to. It's just that in my mind, like I'm not free.
Mm. How
I
long have
feel
you kind of felt that way for?
Build a question. You see how naturally this flows? We get the pain point, we get the context, we build. And what we're doing here is we're peeling the onion back. We're going from this surface level issue to the emotion, to the identity in the fastest time possible so that we can be the best and most efficient on our calls.
ever since, I mean, ever since my husband and I got married, but I've always been working. 2 weeks, I have to go back to work with my first child. And then the second one, about a month. Like, it's always been like, job is kind of almost like, not number one, but in the back of my mind, like, oh my gosh, I still have to work. It would be nice if I can just do the things I want to serve, help people, help my family, in the Philippines,
Yeah.
because they're struggling financially. Um, so yeah, that's one thing too, is financial freedom, because right now I'm capped of what I can earn.
What would financial freedom mean to you? Because it
Builder question. Financial freedom. That's vague. We need context. And as you'll see, I'm going to say that can mean different things to different people. Elaborate.
Mean a lot of different things to different
That's
people.
true. um, Financial freedom meaning I can afford to help people, my family, I can afford to travel where we want to go. And I don't have to think about money. You go in a restaurant, oh my gosh, let's not order appetizer. Let's not, it's
Yeah.
just a lot, like that.
Yeah.
Not having to worry about, oh yeah, I'm on a tight budget kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
Given the fact, I mean, very evidently you're a hard worker. You said you've been doing the day job. I mean, 2 weeks after you had your first child, that's quite rapid to kind of go back to work. And then you're doing, I mean, you've got 3 children now, did you mention? How old
yeah,
are
they're
they
older
now?
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 17, 15, and 12 and a half. So they're older now, but I mean, two in high school and one in junior high. But still, like,
It's renowned that teenagers are easy
it's,
going.
well, teenager, it's hard because now they talk
Yeah.
back and they reason and all this. It's just very stressful.
Once again, that was purposeful. So there are times where you can make a suggestion statement, is how I like to describe them. So for the most part, one of the biggest pointers I would give you on any of your sales calls is that you want to figure out how to make any statement into a question. You may have heard the term telling is selling. What that fundamentally means is the more statements you make at somebody or to somebody, the more they begin to feel lectured. Whereas if you reword that into an open-ended question, it makes their answer their own. They're coming to their own conclusion, and you want to do that throughout the call in as many situations as you possibly can. However, in examples like that, that's a humorous, suggestive statement saying, well, we all know teenagers are renowned to be easy. It's ironic. And as you can see, that actually immediately did work because she contradicted me. As people enjoy correcting, I would say. So once you've said that, they'll be like, oh, well, no, it's actually causing me a lot of stress, And it's like, well, there we go. We've just got another pain point from that there.
Teaching them and fighting back. It's stressful.
Yeah.
It's
Do you feel
different when
like
they're younger. It's physical. You have less sleep. You have to feed them.
now it's more
emotional.
psychological, emotional?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're being paid your worth?
Strong question. Quite evident why I ask it. It begins to build that gap in their mind as to whether they're happy or satisfied whatsoever with their position.
I think so. I mean, I don't think I could ask for more. I mean, I know like you need like some sort of certification or like maybe decades of experience, to be at the director level. And I don't know if I want to be a director anyway. So there's just too much politics because I'm in a local government, right? But yeah. Anyway, yeah, I've just always been an entrepreneur, but how it's just like buying all these cars is not gonna make me make me rich. I have to take action.
Do you think you're quite an analytical person?
I am.
Yeah. And do you think like perhaps maybe that analysis paralysis
Yeah.
has sort of come into the picture a little bit in terms of what is the best next step, so to speak? Like, what do I put all my chips into? Because one thing I've found with chatting to a lot of people kind of looking to start businesses is that right opportunity.
So what I'm going into now is a reframe. As from the very get-go of the call, 4 minutes in, we could see she was analytical, scatterbrained, nervous, and anxious due to that way of thinking. Here, I just dived straight onto it. Do you feel as though you are an analytical person? Yes. Do you feel as though it's causing this in your life, this analysis paralysis? Yes. Okay, so we have this way of thinking. It's causing us a problem that's holding us back from reaching our goals. We've just plain and simple mapped that out. Now I need to reframe that way of thinking, because if we don't address it now, That way of thinking is what will bring objections up at the end of the call, and she then won't be able to make a decision and she won't close.
In and of itself, isn't usually necessarily the issue. It's that they don't fully trust themselves to commit and go all in. Because if we look at it, how will you ever know really if an opportunity is the right one until you start and commit and push all those chips across the table to give it the best probability of that level of success that you're after? It's like, if we look at it, maybe perhaps there was two students looking to learn how to play a piano, let's say, and you've got one student who says, I'm going to wait until I find the perfect piano teacher, and then I'm going to put all my effort into learning and going for it. Then you've got the other student who says, I'm going to start right now with the teacher I can find, and then just start playing, learning, and going along the way. Out of those two, who do you feel will become the better pianist?
Yeah, the one who'll take the action for sure. Start something.
For yourself, Jeneth.
So as you can see here, we've gone for the reframe. We've highlighted the problem. And then I use an analogy to build understanding. Now, analogies are fantastic because what they do is they evoke emotion, as they enable the other person to understand where you're coming from, but they also utilize a visual element. So they begin to imagine the situation or the story as you're telling it, therefore evoking feelings. And you could see how she begun to nod and say yes before I'd even finished speaking, because she knew exactly what I was implying here. I did miss a builder question here, because as she's just clarified yes, she believes that the person who starts would have a better chance of success. I should have asked, how come? Like, what about that individual particularly makes you feel as though they will be more successful? Just to gain more context so that she could reinforce her position.
What's kind of brought you to this point in life then where you're ready to actually focus down now and kind of go for one specific business?
So should have had that builder question in. That's a little improvement to make. But then from there, we've assessed the issue. We've acknowledged that it doesn't serve us. What's now made us ready now in the present moment to address this and to move forward? Because we want to have them reinforce that now, the present moment, is where change needs to occur. Because if we don't, then they'll wait another 24, 1 week, 5 months.
I feel like because I've wasted so much money already, I'm like, man, I just gotta go for it and not give up. Just pick the one thing, and that's what I've been trying to figure out. Which one can I focus on? Because then I have the IUL, where I give my service or where I go AI. You know, I'm bought into that idea of AI is the new thing. You know, if you don't apply it, you'll get left behind or get replaced by it. So I feel like I'm up to a point like, oh my gosh, I've wasted so much money. Let's not give up now, kind of thing. Like, let's do something about it and hopefully recoup all that money.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing, because right now, like, okay, so from what I had seen, content creator, webinar kit, agentic AI, AR arbitrage, actually, there's one that I don't know if you've heard of them, Richard, and you guys have more of like the complete package, like really the AI stuff that you could offer, all these stuff, you know, the all the stuff that's on the Word doc that you showed me.
Yeah, we've bridged the market, so to speak, for individuals who don't have a background as an AI software developer to still be able to capitalize on AI, structure the business in a way where they've got the level of guidance and consulting they need to understand the process and to then develop the necessary skills to sell it and begin the business themselves, right? I'd say that's where we stand. So that this makes sense and we actually can.
So what I've just done there, she was getting into quite a logistical conversation at that point. She was listing off all of these other options that she may be thinking of pursuing and things she's looked into. Now, when it comes to a buying decisions are made on emotion, but then justified with logic. So predominantly, we want to stay pinpointed onto the emotion during this conversation and call. So what I did there was I interjected with a logical explanation to give her quite a clear concept of how we present ourselves in the market. But I then used that statement to tie off onto my following question in a very natural way. It's conversational.
You to that vision that you mentioned where we have the time flexibility, you can go on those trips, you can give back to family in the Philippines. What would that monthly number be if we could set the first goalpost that we can get to, where I suppose it would actually allow you to have that like tangible change in your life?
So I want to get a tangible metric that we can now have as the first goalpost for us to head towards, where she's going to be able to attain her specific goals that I've listed. Once again, demonstrating that I have been listening to her throughout the conversation.
Or replace our income.
Yeah, that could be a good starting point. If we want to first jump out of the 9 to 5, which you mentioned, that can be the initial aim. What would that figure be for us?
Oh, okay, so I'm about 120 gross though, gross. If you
Okay.
take out
Yeah.
taxes
Yeah.
and everything. So I don't know.
Which is never fun to see.
It's 3,600 bi-weekly times 26.93 divided by 12. So about 8,000 a month just
Okay.
for me.
Yeah.
My husband works too, but
Yeah. And then we've got that 8,000 a month. What's the figure where once we then get to that next step, that's where we really can achieve that vision, you know, where we have the excess income to provide to the family and tick those boxes? Where would we stand there, do you think?
um net or gross? I'm trying to think.
This is where the analytical mind's coming into action here.
I know, right? Because I mean, easy if I just take the gross, right?
Yeah.
Actually, we have a rental downstairs, so
Made a little joke there because, as you can see, once again, even with simple questions, there needs to be some form of over-analysis, and it just reinforces her personality type.
if I just take 200 divided by 12, so 17 per month gross. And
Okay.
you're asking me what would be the monthly income that would feel like a financial freedom for me?
Mm,
Maybe double that. 30?
okay.
I think
30,000 a
that would
month.
be 30,000 a month would be, yeah, would be.
Yeah. I mean, that would certainly be a significant jump from where we're at now.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's double where we're at right now.
What would that enable you to do that you're not able to do presently?
So we've got the number. We now have the logistical context. But what's the meaning behind the number? What would that actually allow her to do? Because money in and of itself isn't important. It's what we can do with that money.
What would that enable me to do? Well, fund my kids' college because I don't
Okay.
have any savings right now
Mhm.
for my kids' college, and there's three of them. My oldest will be in college in a couple years because no, not in wait, a year and a half. She's junior high school right now.
Mm.
Um, under missions, let's see, travel. That's a big one, really. Their
Mhm.
funding, college
Yeah.
funding, and also my brother because he doesn't really have an opportunity there. So for me to be able to
Is he
provide,
still in the Philippines?
uh-huh.
And just
Yeah,
for earning a good amount of money and like living wage and
yeah,
things? Or-
I mean every month be a regular one because I do send them money, but not every month.
Mm.
I mean, Christmas, of course, I'll be sending stuff, but I send him money, you know,
Do you
like
feel
100.
like you've got a, a fair amount of like weight on your shoulders, so to speak?
Yeah, because I'm the breadwinner.
Yeah.
You could see that that answer she was giving came from the heart. You could tell just from her facial expression. So that's why I interjected with, like, do you feel like you've got a lot of pressure on your shoulders? Because we're here to have an empathetic conversation. And this may be the first time she's ever had a conversation like this that can really move the needle forward for her and allow her to take a bold step that will enable her to achieve her goals in life.
ever since my husband and I got married, I've always been the breadwinner. I can't quit my job because the insurance and then, a bulk of the income comes from me. So I
Mhm.
can't really quit that. But yeah,
Yet.
yet. Yet, yes.
So
Bang. I can't really quit that limited mindset. Hence why I added yet. Because we want to plant the seeds of confidence, the seeds of conviction.
The person you want to be, Jenith, and like what you want to accomplish in your life, if we look at it together, like why do you think it hasn't happened yet? If we could try and pinpoint it.
So now we're going for a broad but very direct question. Given the fact she's explained how she's had these struggles, given the fact she's explained how she's wanted to resolve them, what has held us back from doing so up to this point?
It's the action, right? Like the overwhelm from job and then the house. Maybe not setting goals, that's probably why. Not setting goals, that's probably why.
What do you mean by not setting goals?
Like, because I know, like, for example, this IUL, like, I need to set aside time to watch the replays of the course, go through that. And it's kind of like with this IUL business, like, I need to contact at least 2 leads, at least keep that momentum going. And as soon as I stop, then I'm all over the place. Yeah, I'm kind of like, there's so many things in my head that like, I don't even know which one to prioritize. That's why I know for my self-discovery, my gosh, I've signed up so many this, and even my husband's like, you can juggle all that stuff, you just have to pick. And I know that. I know that.
Do you think we may need to just slow down?
Yeah, like even now with the IUL,
Do you think we may need to just slow it down? We certainly do.
Focus on this AI arbitrage, does that mean I can't also do the IUL stuff? Or can I do both?
So now we're going down into another potential objection here, which needs to be addressed. And she actually mentioned it earlier in the call as well. She's currently trying to do this other business and occupation whilst considering potentially starting this entirely new one. Now, it's not impossible to do both. However, we need to get her very clear on what she really wants to do, particularly because of the type of individual she is.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean that you can't. Although what I would ask is, given the way your life is currently structured, with you working the 9 to 5, still having to support the family when you get home, going through that process, with you taking this new business venture on, let's say, and starting your own AI agency, how many hours a week do you believe you could prioritize toward this?
A week per day.
Let's just go per week.
At least 10, maybe. If I
Okay.
do 2 hours a day times 5. I mean, I try not to do anything on Sunday. Weekend, I could probably spend more time. So
I always personally recommend 10 to 15 hours a week.
10 to 15, yeah.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
we can
15.
if we can do 10 to 15, bear in mind, like any business, it requires more time initially, right? To go through the initial education, setup, foundations of things, and then the time requirement will gradually begin to drop off. But given the fact you mentioned how you've always had this entrepreneurial fire, I'm sure you understand that when you get something going and it's your business and it gets started, you feel as though you need to put all the time in the world into it, I find. So as long as, are you at a point in life now where you're willing to focus down, slow it down so that we can make sure what you are focusing on does succeed? Because if we look at the way things have been going over the last 10 years, the current way in which we've been operating hasn't worked. So can you see how we may need to actually change the way in which we're working in order to get a different outcome or result this time around?
Yeah.
Boom. So I immediately addressed this issue of potentially wanting to divert attention to one or both. And I highlighted the fact that the crux crux and the main issue that's held us back from accomplishing our goals in life is the fact that we have lacked clear direction. That's very much established. That's now led to anxiety and confusion, which has held us back from taking action. And what that means is if we continue operating in that manner, then we will continue to not attain our goals. So I've had her reiterate that something needs to change.
So do you believe you'd want to juggle the AUL with this, or are you more inclined to go with one or the other and just double down on that avenue?
Yeah, I think for me, probably clarity on that vision and actually finding success. Because I think, you know, like the progress that this is actually going to work, I guess that's probably one thing too, right? Then you're more motivated to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
If you're actually seeing that you have progress and you're seeing, oh, wow, I got my money back,
Yeah.
this actually works. Let's go at it.
Yeah.
And I think that's how I did it with IUL because
very common ideology, however, a flawed one. That ideology is my confidence and conviction will build once I start to see success from an avenue that I'm pursuing. However, in order to actually get those results to then build that confidence, you need to first start when the confidence isn't there. And you need to go all in from the beginning with that lack of confidence and overcome that fear. Because then if you go all in and you put the hard work in, that's what will get you the results. It's not the other way around. It's almost like saying, I'll put all of my effort into exercising in the gym once I've gotten the six pack. However, in order to get the six pack, you've got to put all of your effort in from the start, even though it'll take quite a while for them to probably appear.
I got the motivation and I've listened to so many things and it was easy. I got licensed and I got appointed. It was actually up to me. Like I didn't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to get it going. It was on me. But then I got to the point, wow, this is hard because I'm doing everything manually and I have very limited time. That's when I started looking, okay, how do I actually go out there? Social media, ads. I mean, I know I have to spend money on ads, but as long as I know there's a ROI on that, and then it's fine. So then I got distracted with this other stuff. Okay, should I just do AI or should I just keep doing my IUL? Which one is it better? Again, the analytical thing. And so, but then at the same time, man, I started this one. It would suck if I don't push through that because I literally did so much for the IUL stuff.
So now we've got another very clear objection here. Does she do what we offer or does she stick with the path she's down? Because it is not an option for us to do both at the same time. That wouldn't be in her best interest. So now we're going to need to map out with her what path she wants to go down.
Or should I focus now on AI, right? This consulting stuff. So now I'm up to that, like confused which one, or can I do
one thing we just need to look at there is is it IUL?
Yeah.
Can the IUL, once you continue developing it, get your life to the vision you described to me? So can it build you that time flexibility, freedom, and not require as much manual input once it's scaled, whilst also being able to generate you the $30,000?
So that's the thing that I'm seeing with IUL because I'm the one who generates the revenue because I have to talk to the client, look at their situation, and how this IUL can help them, have their tax-free retirement, and all this stuff. So I do have to spend that time to generate that income. That's the only negative that I could see. There's a potential for, big revenue there if you focus your niche on the older people with money. And my friends don't have a lot of money, so Doug Andrew teaches those group of people and you kind of filter out who you serve because you're already doing the same amount of work, but why not target the ones who are actually ready? So with your question, that's the only, I guess, thing that I would see a negative to that side because I do have to book my calendar talking to client. So yeah, I guess it's just that I feel bad with the money that I invested. There's one with the certification program. It's like $5,000.
So see here, how I didn't make any statements. I didn't try and overemphasize or elaborate our position and why it would be great for her and why this would be a better fit. I asked a question, and she has come to her own conclusion and answer, making it far more powerful.
You heard sunken cost fallacy?
Yeah. So now I feel like, oh man, so do I just waste all that money? That's why I feel like up to this point, I'm like, I
That
just need one thing
yeah.
and then just go all in.
That mental frame that you're taking, could you see how we don't perhaps need to view it as a failure? We can certainly view it as a lesson because you would have never known unless you tried. And that's the key here. You would never have known whether it would provide the life that you're after if you never gave it a chance. Now you at least have that certainty in your mind going forward, rather than that constant thought in the back of your mind. What if that could have worked? What if that could have got me the result? And can you see how that would have actually eaten you up inside, never knowing?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, financially,
I wanted to give her that very clear reframe there because it's the truth. It's not necessarily a failure, as she's now starting to tell herself, I've put this much money in, I can't give up, I can't quit, otherwise it is a failure. However, she's put that money in and she's learned that that model can't necessarily provide her the exact life that she wants to live. Therefore, if she continues to put her wholehearted effort down that path, it's not serving her in her best interest. She would be better cutting the rope where she stands now, going another path.
it will give me the income if I'm successful, right? Because I can see the people that has done that. But it's back to the time freedom, because then it's almost like probably
What's
because I
more
don't
what's more
yeah,
important to you?
the time, yeah. Because it's almost like a 9 to 5 job, but just making more money, right? Because you're still booking on your
So she said, it'll be able to make me more money. She's starting to reinforce that position. However, what's more important to you? General question, highlighted, the time is more important. So the positive on the money side has just been negated.
under every single time to produce one client, and that's it. There's no retainer fee. That's why I like this AI consulting. Is not only does you have an upfront revenue, you also have a monthly one.
Retainers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with this IUL though, there is that kind of concept too, but it's more on MLM. It's multi-level marketing. You
Right.
have to recruit. And
Okay.
that's with my current agency. You have to build a team to really be able to, because I know those my upline make 600K because they have overrides from all the people underneath them. And I get it. You
Right.
train those people, right? You do
Yeah.
invest time to train them and then be successful. If they're successful, you're successful. You have like generational overrides infinity. It's just that it's hard. I mean, I've tried it, and my friends, it's almost like you lose your friendship over it. So
Yeah.
I stopped contacting my friends because of that. So
So
that's the only hard
yeah.
thing. Yeah. That's why I'm kind of, yeah.
So the way in which it could scale to the point where it makes you the money you're after would require you to build other people up, train them up, and then they would sell under
Yes.
you, and then that's how it would scale. But by the sounds of things, that hasn't had the most positive outcome up to now.
Not with your friends. So if, yeah. And all of them are like, oh, is that MLM? No, I'm not interested. Is that networking business? No, I'm not interested.
It's got a negative
Immediately.
connotation.
Oh, immediate, even for me. I got brainwashed, I guess.
It's a strong way of putting it. You said before, and this is something I have heard previously. I think it's a way of thinking that makes complete sense. Where one of the reasons that I suppose has held you back is clarity on the vision. I think it's how you worded it. So
And
once
the confidence that
exactly,
it's gonna work.
once you've started something,
That exact point I just brought up prior, as you can see, I noted it mentally and now I'm addressing it.
and then you begin to see results, that then reaffirms to yourself that it can work, and then that builds your confidence, and then you go from there. If we look at it this way, let's say there were two boxers climbing into a boxing ring, right? And one boxer thinks to himself before he steps in, I'm not so sure I can win this fight, but I'm going to feel like I can win it after I've landed some really good punches. Is he giving himself the highest probable chance of actually winning that fight and landing those punches in the first place?
Yes, because he believes it.
No, he doesn't. He says he doesn't have the
Oh,
confidence
oh, he doesn't.
until he's landed
Oh,
punches.
oh, okay. Yeah, no. Then no.
And can you see how when it comes to business, if we tell ourselves, I don't have the confidence until I've seen the results, it's almost counterintuitive.
Mm.
Because in order for us to get those results, we need to fully dedicate ourselves with confidence.
Right, but how do you get that?
Well, where does
So once again, I missed a builder question there. Once she answered, I should have said, how come? So I was just missing the builder question once again from that analogy. However, I'm using it to evoke emotion and understanding. She's just said, how do we get that? Well, I'll ask that as a question. I won't tell her.
confidence come from?
Yeah, knowledge, training.
Yeah, yeah. Like, do you know how to ride a bicycle?
Yeah.
Before you first got on a bicycle when you were younger, were you scared of falling off and flying into a hedge and grazing your knee?
Hmm.
And then when you got on the bicycle and started riding, what happened?
Then yeah, you can kind of yeah, you build your confidence over time as you gain that skill.
And I'm sure now if I asked you to get on a bicycle, you wouldn't have sweaty palms and be like really anxious.
Right, because I've had experience. Yeah.
So
I've gone
how
through that phase.
so how would you build your confidence in a new business venture?
You just do it.
Boom. Mic drop moment. Mic drop moment. That's how to get them to close themselves. We're not here to close them. We're here to have an open, empathetic conversation that serves them in their best interest and allows them to come to their own conclusion.
Just do it, like Nike said. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay.
Did that like trigger something for you when you said that out loud?
Yeah, yeah. And action, I've always known.
Really good way of asking, how did that make you feel? Just a little bit of a different reword there, because how did that make you feel is quite generic and maybe a little bit too obvious. So we want to ask a question that has them elaborate that emotions were evoked, but using different terminology.
Action, but I don't know. I'm like, okay, what? Why are you not doing something?
Because I always tell people like I can be here, we can be here to like help you along the way, right? It's like when I'm sure you first got on a bicycle, you probably had like one of your parents there or somebody there helping you so that you didn't fall off to start. And then obviously eventually they can let you go and you're fine. It's the same with the people we work with, right? Obviously people come from different backgrounds, different skill levels, but we can help with the foundations, the structure, the consulting. However, your success, who is that actually down to?
Sorry, did you ask?
Yeah,
Sorry, I was gonna take a note.
your success, who is that ultimately down to?
Me.
Exactly. So it comes down to obviously, as you said there, right? Taking the initial action so that you can get yourself started, build your confidence, which will come from putting the necessary effort and work in. And then together we can scale you to the goal that you've set yourself and get you out of this financial position, so to speak, where we feel as though we've wasted money and we need to build back up. And then, of course, eventually be able to give back to your brother, your family, travel, etc. Broadly speaking.
So I just tied everything together in that statement there. Everything we've been through up to now, this is the problem. Once we address it, we can work together to resolve this issue.
When you picture that life, though, when you are a successful entrepreneur, you have already started and scaled this business, you've made it happen. How clear actually is that image in your mind when you picture it? Like if we could say a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being it's quite foggy, it's quite hard to see, 10 being you can genuinely, really vividly picture it, where would you say we are?
Now I'm going into the vision of the life they're going to live in the future. Now we've acknowledged the problem. We've said that now is the time for us to overcome it so that we can reach these goals. How clear is that vision for them? And I quantify that using a 1 to 10 scale. And you'll also notice I used very evocative language. So, like cloudy with fog or bright and clear. Once again, that is purposeful because that language evokes visualization and emotion, like cloudy, foggy, bright, clear. Now, what we're really doing is figuring out how confident they now are that that future will be their reality. And regardless of what they say, really, we want them to be 10 out of 10. Because if they're looking for 10 out of 10 results, they need to have 10 out of 10 confidence to begin with.
Vividly picture it right now, what that dream, vision. I can vividly picture it, what I want happen.
1 to 10, where are we?
I'll say that 8.
Okay. And what's stopping you from being a 10?
Fear.
Fear of what?
Fear of faith.
38 minutes in, bang, we got to the deep-rooted limiting belief. Fear of failing.
Where does that come from?
I don't know, because, like, it's just easy to just be status quo. I have a secure job. I'm salaried. It's just so easy to be complacent. And me being, wasting so much money already, both of us, I mean, actually, with these courses, kind of like jaded, okay, fear of wasting more money. I don't know. But at the same time, like, it's just, I don't know, again, with the analysis paralysis, right? There's pros and cons, and it's going back and forth like this and this and this and this. And then I just need to, I think being a woman, it's hard to be decisive. My husband, men typically more decisive, like going to the store. My husband, you go to the store, he knows what he needs to get, he buys it. He doesn't compare prices like I do. Isn't that true? You go?
That fear that you've described, it's totally normal. Like, I think that is what holds most people back. As you say, the majority of people stay status quo because it is the easier option to take. With that in mind, though, do you feel like if you keep holding on to that fear that you ever actually will be able to get to your goal?
No.
So now we've gotten the fear, we've gotten the deep-rooted limiting belief. She's afraid of failing. If she holds on to that, will she ever be able to reach her goals if she continues holding on to that emotion?
I know I don't. I know I need to change if I want the results, because I know what I want. I I know what I want, and I know I need to change. Because if I do nothing, nothing's gonna change, right? It's just gonna be the same.
And how do we overcome something we're scared of in life?
You just actually just go do it. Just decide to go do it. Oh my gosh, just talking through this, I feel like I just need to do it.
Are you sure you're ready now?
Can you see the power of the conversation I've had here? Just from this conversation alone, she's just stated that this has changed her way of thinking. It's made her think she does just need to do this. This is an individual, this woman, who came off the back of a cold advertisement. She clicked on a Facebook ad. She got onto a call with myself. But because I've actually developed real killer closing skills, I am able to initiate this level of a state change.
To face up to that fear and overcome it and do it, though.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Do you think so, or do you know so?
So now, why is she now ready to overcome that fear? We need the why now. I think so. Weak language. Is it you think so or you know so? Because they're very different meanings.
Very different thing.
I know. No, I need to just give up my IUL and go all in on this.
What's made you so certain?
Just talking with you.
Okay.
Yeah,
What have I?
Who's doing this in the space? Who's doing this at this level in the space and showing the full proof presently? 2026, late 2025, the call was taken, where the closing space now has shifted dramatically over the last few years, single-handedly changing that perspective, changing that state. But can you see how I'm not leaning into this? I'm not hearing these good, positive words and getting all giddy and happy. I've got her. She's in the pocket. No. I'm still just asking questions calmly, strategically, so that she can come to her own conclusion and answer.
Have I said specifically that's
When you
triggered that?
asked me about the IUL, because then in my mind, like, oh yeah, there's the time that I can't really scale it like the AI would because I can't replace myself writing policies. I have to do that. I mean, AI can help me with setting up appointments and calendar and all that stuff or generate leads, but I still have to generate revenue by actually writing the policies because that's the bit commission is based on is the policy and the target premium. It's all based on that. So when
There's
I
always going to
realized,
be a direct personal time trade-off for
yes,
income.
it's almost kind of like the restaurant. And I always told myself, I don't want to own a restaurant business because if the rest, well, I guess you can duplicate a recipe, but the way I though it's just I eyeball things. I don't have, my friends would ask me for a recipe. I don't know. I just eyeball everything. I don't have certain measurement on this thing. So, and for me, like the restaurant, well, that's hard to take vacation because you're tied to the business. So it probably has that similarity with the IUL because I'm the one generating it, like, and I can't relinquish that completely. It sounds like with this consulting though, I can because AI is doing most of the work.
What I think would be good, how about I walk you through like a bit more of an in-depth day-to-day so you can really
Yeah.
see what it is you're going to be
Yes.
doing. And then while I kind of go through all of it, if you have any questions, you just stop me and ask if you need
Okay.
clarity on things.
Okay,
Would
yeah,
that be
sounds
good with
great.
you?
Yeah.
Now I'm transitioning into the pitch. So we got to the 43-minute mark. I feel as though we've built very clear context. We've found the limiting belief. We've had her affirm why she's now ready to make a change and she understands the deep-rooted issue. I'll now head into the pitch. What I'll do, I'll make a quick edit. I'll cut the pitch out and we'll resume just after I drop the price. So we go through the pitch. Got any further questions? No. Then I'll price drop and we'll resume straight afterward. So I've now just dropped the price with her. We had 3 different pricing tiers for this offer. So it was a 5.8 thousand US dollars per year, a 10.8 thousand US dollars per year, or a 24.8 thousand US dollars per year. So a $25,000 paid in full deal, which was the package that served her in her best interest with her time constraints and what she was looking to achieve. So this woman who came off the back of a cold advertisement after jumping on and having a 1-hour conversation with myself is now faced with paying 25,000 US dollars after only just meeting myself. This is what we now go into straight after we've addressed these price points.
I need to talk to my husband. This is a big investment for sure.
Partner objection immediately. I need to talk to my husband. This is a big investment.
We have invested in real estate for, those courses that we didn't get anything because I think after I invested that, I have to pay another 15K for coaching. That's why we stopped. I was like, oh my gosh, we were gonna invest in 30K. So I just have to run it through my husband, but I want to do it.
After like what we've gone through specifically, are you confident that working together we actually can get you the results you're looking for and get you?
So now I immediately go into my objection handling framework, which I provide to all of my clients that want to work with me one-to-one. So the very first point of call is to reaffirm the value. So regardless of the objection, we want to figure out and make sure that she believes working together, we can actually get her the result she's after.
out of the circumstance we mentioned, quit the 9 to 5, support the family.
Yeah.
Yeah, all this.
Yeah.
What specifically, after kind of what we've gone over, makes you confident that we can do?
So, yes, I am confident. Now, what in particular makes you confident? We want them to build up their position.
It's the product itself. It's almost like selling it to a business. It's a no-brainer. Like, there's ROI in it. So it's the same idea. What I'm selling to other people, it's how I feel right now. So, I mean, the
And-
potential, yeah.
And I suppose outside of us as well, what makes you confident in yourself?
So, as you can see, she said, I'm confident in the product. It's a no-brainer. It can deliver on what it offers. However, we want to take that and now put it back onto her. Well, regardless of us and the system we have, what makes you actually confident in yourself that you can achieve these results?
Going to
I'm
be
not
able to
gonna
make this
fail.
a success.
This is it. No more. It's a big investment for sure. No, I really want to get there. I mean, I'm 42 now. When I started my government,
Notice that silence, that pause right there. It's a big investment, that's for sure. And that opened up. She carried on. Just hold silence. It's so powerful. You don't need to fill gaps. You don't need to over elaborate or over explain.
you know, oh man, I can't imagine myself working for 30 years.
When you actually kind of picture that reality, what sort of emotions does that bring up?
So now I'm consequencing on the point she's just made. She can't even imagine herself working for another 30 years because it's clearly not a future that she wants. Rather than saying, how does that make you feel? What sort of emotions does that bring up?
I mean, time went by so fast, but in the beginning, it was like, you know, it's like slaving away, right? It's you kind of have to do it, and then you sacrifice some things, because of your job. I mean, having a business, it's not like you're not going to do anything. It's just that you have more potential, and it's much less work because using tools, with the job, you're trading money for my time.
Yeah.
With software, you can scale so much. So that's why I'm sold into that AI business, even for me. Wow, I need this for my IUL business. And here am I, I'm now gonna shift to selling it, or giving this solution to other businesses. But yeah, hopefully in the future, I hope this would last for a while.
Hopefully, hopefully, hope. Hopefully is once again weak language. Because what return on investment does hope give you? Nothing. You need to put concerted effort in order to get those results. You can't just hope that they'll come.
It's just that it's
When
not
we-
replaced by something.
When we use the term hopefully, what's that implying?
Like, I hope this keeps on going. Like, whatever success.
What return on investment does hope give you?
Now, there was a little bit of a disconnect here. You can see where I'm going because in the vast majority of cases, you always want to address that language. However, she did mean something slightly different. She meant hopefully AI remains a trend. Hopefully that continues. So it wasn't actually targeted on her and what she can do specifically. So just a slight misunderstanding there, but still always worth addressing to be sure.
What return? No, I'm saying like with the hope, like, how AI could replace a job, a receptionist. That's what I'm saying. Like, this AI tool we're offering could replace a receptionist or, answering calls, right?
Yeah, of course.
I'm hoping that we don't get to that point where we're replacing. So
Well,
that's
yeah. I suppose. Well, it's like when there was the gold rush. The people who sold the shovels made the most money. When you say you need to kind of go away and speak to your husband, what's the purpose of that for yourself?
So now we've reaffirmed the value. We've reiterated that. We've got that cemented. Now we're going to go into handling the objection. The reason why that's so important is because we're diffusing the situation first. We're not diving directly onto the grenade immediately and trying to combat and face it. Because after price drop, the pressure's there, the stress is heightened. that individual is going to be feeling a lot of anxiety, a lot of nervousness. That's what's causing the objection. So we want to calmly diffuse the situation, get them back into a more calm state, and now we address it.
Just to make sure, I mean, it's our anniversary today, actually.
Oh, wow.
It's 18
Congratulations.
years. 18 years on December 18th. So, you know, okay, this is a big amount of money. The stuff that I have, purchased before. He actually supports me with everything, but it's just that I just want to, hey, I'm gonna be doing this, and he just want me to really just focus on one thing, just one thing, and be successful at that. And I think with just talking to you, it just gave me clarity. Yes, I can just finally just focus on this thing.
Yeah. Aside from, what's your husband's name, by the way?
Daniel.
Dan.
Always get the name, makes it more of a conversation, right? Brings them in, makes it more personal.
Aside from speaking to Dan, then, is there anything else that's holding you back or that you're uncertain?
No, I mean,
now we're isolating the objection. So we want to make sure that that genuinely is the only problem or issue standing in our way. So aside from needing to go away and speak to your partner, is there anything else?
it's my home equity line of credit to pay for this.
Okay.
I mean, it's debt, but I'm not, I'll pay less debt interest in my HELOC than this 15%.
When you think about like the impact and the change that this will have on your life, how important is that for you?
Now what we're doing is we're going to take them from problem-based thinking to solution-based thinking. At the moment, her mind is saying, this is a lot of money, it's anxiety-inducing, it's stressful, I need to speak to my partner. However, we want to pivot her way of thinking now to the benefits, the positives that taking this step will bring to her life.
Oh, very. I mean, it could change my life, my family.
Like if
That's
we
why-
look at some of the biggest reasons why you want to do this, what impact do you think it'll have on the lives of those around you?
Oh, big time, especially for my brother. Yeah, I get emotional because I really feel bad for him. I mean, I have a petition 13 years ago. It takes so long, to bring him here in America because it's just the way it is. There's so many applicants from the Philippines and they have a quota every year.
That's when you know you've had a truly empathetic, meaningful, productive conversation with somebody. This woman feels comfortable enough with me now to get so personal that she breaks down crying on a call with a stranger who she's only just met less than an hour ago. This is the level that you are going to be able to get your closing, your psychology, your people skills to when working with myself. That is what we specialize in here at Congruent Closers. And when I work with individuals one-to-one, this is what we instill. This level of conviction, this level of purpose behind what we are doing here and how powerful it really is.
It takes 20 plus years to get his visa to come here for that spot to be given to him because it's the bottom priority, sibling to sibling. If it's a parent, it's one tier up, but it's level 4, it's F4. So it's sibling to sibling is just the bottom of the priority. So in my calculation, when I looked at the visa bulletin, maybe about 8 years when I did the math from the year they're processing from when I filed it in 2013. So yeah.
I mean, that passion there, that's what's going to drive you to success to ensure that you can give back to him in the way you want though.
And there's so many people in the Philippines. They're just so poor. I don't even know how they survive right now with inflation. It's terrible. It's worse than America. And I don't even know how they get their food, to be honest with you. Most of the people there. I don't know how they survive their everyday life to put food on the table. So
yeah,
to give back. Yeah.
No, it's completely understandable. When you go away and have this chat with Dan, what do you think are some of the things that could come up for?
So now we're back to addressing the objection. When she goes away and speaks to her husband, what are things that actually may come up there?
Nothing really. I think he will support me. I know that. He's always been so supportive. Um, and I even told him, hey, do you just want to help me with this business? Because he did the cybersecurity boot camp. Oh my gosh, he almost gave up on that, but I pushed him. Hey, we paid so much money on.
He went to do a boot camp and he almost gave up on that, but then she pushed him. Now I know for a fact that we need to overcome this partner objection, because if he didn't have the conviction in something he was pursuing for himself, then he certainly won't have that support and conviction for her to move forward with a $25,000 opportunity.
I paid like $9,000 for a 6-month certification thing. And he also hasn't done anything with that. I just said, you know what? Just help me. Come on, let's work together. Let's just work together with the business, because I know business is the way to go. Business is how you can actually achieve financial freedom, or at least a chance. A job is not going to give it to us.
Is he as passionate about that entrepreneurial venture and business as you are?
He's not, because he.
So now we're going to draw that disconnect, because she played her hand by saying he nearly gave up on this. So is he really as passionate to do this as you?
He hates selling. He hates selling. But he's not entrepreneurial like me. But but this thing is so easy though. It's so easy.
I'd say nothing good comes easy. That's how I describe things. Like there's always a level of effort and work.
We want to lean out or push back when something like that is said, because we never want to come across as, oh yeah, it's really easy. We can get you XYZ results. This is going to be a walk in the park. This is a get rich quick scheme. You never want to buy into that frame whatsoever, because you will then be associated with scammers. So we lean out. Nothing good comes easy here.
Right. Any level of success. Given how the last sort of 10 years have gone in terms of things that we've pursued and gone down prior, do you think that could potentially tarnish Dan's view on a further venture?
So highlighting the issue behind having this conversation with him, given the fact we have been scattered and we have gone down different paths up to now and they haven't been a success, the probability there is it may give him more of a negative connotation or view on a further venture, really. But we're asking that as a question. We're not making that as a statement.
Have you noticed that at all?
I mean, yes, it would, of course. I mean, it's not like nothing happened. And especially with the amount of investment, right? I think if I just help him see the return on this and be serious about this business, the potential, we can.
Because when it comes to making this happen now, putting the work in, getting the results that we have chatted about, whose responsibility is that going to fall on?
So now we're going to go into a responsibility frame. Who's responsible for making this happen, for putting in the work, for moving forward? It's herself. She's the one on the call. She's the one deciding to do this. She's the one who will be running this business. So the concept comes down to, if it's going to be their responsibility to run this business further afield as we head into the future, then it also needs to be their responsibility now, in the present.
Me. It's going to be me.
And what would you do if Dan said no?
Brilliant question. What would you do if they said no? Because what we're going to find here is that they have one of two answers, right? They'd say, I would do it anyway, or they'd say, I wouldn't be able to do it. If they wouldn't be able to do it, we can rediscover why, because there's a deeper reason there behind that. So in the vast majority of cases, at this point, they will always say, I would do it anyway, which therefore negates the concept of them needing to speak with them in the first place. Because regardless of what they said, if they'd still go forward, then they could still go forward now.
I just know he wouldn't.
I'm not saying he will, but what would you do if he did?
Not letting her get out of the question, just restating.
What would you do if he did? I don't know. We just kind of have to.
You don't have to.
Leaning out again. You don't have to. A lot of people wouldn't. A lot of people would stay in the comfort zone. A lot of people wouldn't take action.
No, I mean it's a great opportunity.
So if he says, no, Jeneth, I don't know about this one. I'm not keen on it. I don't know whether we should.
Once again, she still hasn't answered the question. Reword it a different way.
Maybe I'll just have him watch those videos I watch.
What if he still said no?
What if
Fourth time now. We are not allowing her to escape the question.
he said no? I don't know. I mean, I'll still go for it, I guess.
Got it.
Why would you still go for it?
I would still go for it. Why? Now we're having them build their position.
Why?
Hmm?
Because of the outcome, I can see it. And I want that result.
Because I suppose there's two paths to go down here. But do you mind if I share a perspective?
Tactical pause there. Because in order for you to elicit change, you have to get permission. So can I make a suggestion? Or do you mind if I share a perspective? It's always a great question to ask before you go into a reframe with them. Because you want them to say, yeah, sure thing. Because it opens the door for you to then move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see how one of those paths does open that door that could potentially hold you back from making that happen and taking on that responsibility? Because in this example, as you say, right, the responsibility is on your shoulders to make this work. You see your vision. You believe in what you can provide for your family. If we allow Dan, I suppose, and I'm not knocking him saying he will, but if we allow Dan to now have a strong say as to whether we do this or not, can you see how that's almost putting the responsibility also onto his
On him.
shoulders?
See how well that landed? She nearly answered for me. What we're really doing is we're saying the responsibility doesn't now all fall on me. I'm going to go away and speak to my partner and burden some of that responsibility onto them. Make it so their opinion now matters in terms of whether we do this or not.
Yeah, I see that. I see what you're saying. Yeah. So essentially make the decision now.
And it landed so well. However, we're not going to get happy ears. We're not going to go, yes, we've got her. We're going to remain calm, composed, and have them come to their own decision.
Well, what do you want to do? Because I'm not telling you there, but it's genuinely, what do you feel is the most empowering choice for you to make? So that you can step into those shoes of being this entrepreneur who is successful and embodies all those characteristics we've spoke about.
Right. I mean, even though I have a lot of say in it and I'll go pursue it, I feel like I just want him to feel like, because we're one, right? Husband and wife.
Well, there's two ways to frame it.
Now she's gone down more of a respect route. So I really do want to do this. I understand. I just would like to let him know out of respect. So what we want to do is now give them once again a new perspective on that.
One is saying, I know that I'm going to be able to make this happen for our family. I've gone and done this for us. And with you mentioning that Dan is supportive and he has been, then we can only hope your conviction and belief will then go into him. Or we've got the other option, which is opening the door of responsibility and saying, I'm really confident I can make this happen, but I just want your opinion as well. Like, what do you think we should do?
All right. I see what you're saying. Since he doesn't know much about it, of course he's going to be hesitant or not confident in making the decision because he didn't have this time to really educate what is this about. Yeah, I get it.
That landed so well, as you can see, because we've remained calm, we've remained composed, and we've walked through the objection together.
Okay. So if I sign up now, how soon do I start?
We could get your onboarding call booked in straight away. So in the next 24 to 48 hours, usually.
24 to 48, 24 to 48. And then for the material for me to actually educate myself.
You'd
What-
So now, when do I start? As you can see, we've gotten them right into that buying pocket, but we're going to get into some logistics now. And usually, when somebody begins to get into logistics and numbers and analytical figures, it's a defense mechanism to withdraw from the emotion. So you never want to over contextualize or over answer. Just keep it nice, short, concise, to the point.
You'd get that immediately. So you'd get access to the community, the course content. And then, so how it would run, we'd get you set up, get your onboarding call booked in. On that call, they can then help you get set up on the platform and the client, start to map things out. Then we'll be getting your go-to-market strategy organized. So we'll obviously begin the back-end work on the website, the LinkedIn, the tool setup themselves, and then you'll be given instructions and guidance on where your time should go. So you'll have that all very clearly planned and mapped out for you.
So I probably didn't really need to explain it that elaborately, but I felt like giving her the full information there on the back end.
Oh, you're just gonna help me with like the domain name, the business name. I don't have anything set up or even an LLC for this. I have
Yeah.
one for my IUL. Do I need an LLC for this?
You don't need one. If you want
I
to
don't
set
need
up a
one.
separate LLC, you can, but you can just run it as a sole proprietor.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay. Trying to think what else. Are there like recommended like step by step? This is where you start. This is the knowledge base you need to know because once I have a call booked for that strategy call, I need to know what I'm doing,
Yeah,
right?
of course, it's mapped out in very clear modules. And I mean, you're going to have, as I said, 16-hour a day access, 5 days a week to your consultant. So there's going to be a lot of touch points for us to make sure that you are moving in the right direction and we are allocating time best.
So how many hours? Just give me a ballpark with these modules I have to go through.
Logistics, question. We need to move through this concisely.
If you were to go through everything, do you mean?
Oh, at least just to get for me to know how do I handle the consulting, you know.
I always say we're going to set 2 to 3 weeks initially for all of the setup to be organized. So the reason why now is a really good time to start is because we've got Q1 coming up, as we head into January, and then we have business tax rebate. So a lot of businesses are looking to set up business expenses before the tax budget comes through so that they don't end up losing money, essentially. And now AI automation, it's like the newest kid on the block. It's where a lot of businesses are pointing their focus. So what we found is we'd get you set up from now. That would then line you up to between your second and third week is usually when you'll be getting your first calls coming through. That's when your first initial deals can start to be made. So that'll give you enough time initially to go through that initial education and set up whilst we on the back end organize the website, the tools, the system itself.
Question on the lead generation. How do I have to have a budget on ads?
So as you can see, I am over elaborating. I feel as though I should have been more concise with my answers here to move her forward through this analytical mindset, as all of these questions will be addressed regardless once she's on board.
On that?
No, you don't need ad spend.
Oh, wow.
So ad spend we can look into, but it wouldn't be something that we look at initially because you're going to be able to generate enough revenue from the
From this,
email
the
marketing
screening?
agent. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I don't need the webinar to sell my business?
No, you don't need the webinar initially. Like these are additional features that we can bring in when we want to scale.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. I feel like I just want to touch base with Dan just so that he doesn't like, saying like, he might be shocked with the sticker price. For sure. How do I pay for this?
Just stayed silent, held the silence. No need for a response. How do I pay for this?
Debit or credit, we could do.
Credit? Ooh, with that big chunk, I don't know if I can. Let me see.
Debit or credit, either would work. With Dan being shocked by the sticker price, do you think he'll see the long-term solution that that's going to provide for you and your family?
Yeah, if I sit down with him, yes.
Problem-based thinking to solution-based thinking once again.
Do you
I mean,
think he'll
initially,
see it regardless? Or do you think there'll be a part of him that doesn't necessarily believe in what you're capable of?
As you can see there, we've created a new frame now. What it comes down to is he confident in her capability? Because as a supportive husband, he should be confident in her capability. Therefore, he shouldn't necessarily need this over elaborated explanation. He should respect and trust her decision. She's laughing.
oh, we
now.
just have to make it work. Oh, that's all I know. I just have to take action. Let's see. Let me look at my credit card. What's my limit? Because I can get points on this one. Ooh, I might be able to put it on this one. On my Wells Fargo.
And get a lot of points.
My limit there's pretty big. Holy cannoli. This is the biggest purchase I've ever done.
How do you feel?
How do I feel? Mixed emotion with big investment and then fear at the same time. If this works, this will be incredible, right?
So we need to pause just for a moment. What word did you just use?
Fear.
No. Just then, after fear.
What
Because
did it say?
fear's totally normal. Fear's fine. It's like anybody would feel a level of anxiety when making a big purchase. You always do. You said, if this works. What does that what
Okay,
does
I'm still not fully confident, right?
yeah. What would be a better way of wording that?
When this works, when this takes off.
Why would that be a better way of saying it?
Because then psychologically, you'll get there.
And do you
Look at this. Look at this level of skill. The tonality, the composure, leaning out and having this conversation with them to ensure that they truly are ready to make this decision and change. We're not pushing to get them on board. We're making sure the alignment's where it needs to be.
genuinely believe in yourself and of course in taking our hand that we can get to that level together?
If you guys help me, yes.
Do you believe
You'll
we
help me,
are?
right?
Do you believe we are going to help you?
Oh my gosh. You tell me.
we are. Well, we are going to be there to help you. Otherwise, I certainly don't believe we'd have a very successful business.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? I'm sure.
Okay, give me a moment then.
Boom. Are you sure? Multiple tie downs. Okay, let's do it. And we got there in the end. So that was a full rundown, as you can see, of a $25,000 close paid in full that she then went on to do off the back of a cold advertisement. So it demonstrates what is possible regardless of the setting, regardless of how warm or pre-call confirmed the leaders themselves. Your skill alone as a closer can define whether somebody changes their life for the better or not. And I hope this video has been helpful. If you've made it to this point, probably only the top 1% will have. As I'm sure you're aware, I do train and coach closers to develop their skill set to this level so that they can build real wealth, real income, and take themselves from making between that $0 and $5,000 per month in commission mark to making the 10, $15,000, $20,000 per month in commissions take home. So if that is of interest to yourself, you can head to the description of this video. I will have included my Instagram, so you can reach out directly on there via DMs and we can have a chat. Or I've included a direct Calendly link. So if you want to go straight to booking in a call with myself, then please do so by tapping that and we'll have a conversation and a chat and I'll see how I can best help you. But regardless, really hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have done, drop it a like, a subscribe would be great. I'll be producing more and more helpful content like this as we head into the future, and I will catch you guys in the next video.